Oh, yeah. So, did you ever come up with a name for the podcast? Are we just keeping it Nameless Podcast?
I'm sorry, is it my responsibility to come
Yes.
up with the name of
Yep.
the podcast
It's your
on
podcast.
your channel?
It's your podcast.
My podcast.
Yep. Now
I
it is.
want all
It's
the
your
revenue.
podcast.
I want all the revenue now. 100%.
I think I've only made like 50 cents off of the first episode, so you can have that.
Okay, well, those 2 quarters are mine.
I'll give them to you the next time I see you.
All right, you owe me 2 quarters.
Well, I don't know. I could ask the audience. Audience, name the podcast. There you go.
It's up to you now.
Yeah,
You choose the adventure.
I'm not giving any prizes, so
He will, though. He'll give you a prize. He'll give you a sweet, fat kiss.
a digital kiss.
No, a real kiss.
No.
Right on the cheeks.
You can draw a robot kissing you and pretend it's me. There you
He's
go.
going to give you a fat kiss on the cheeks. What is it you want to talk to me about?
It's the podcast. What are you trying to say?
I said, what? You had some, I don't know. You look at that PlayStation thing? I know you did because you made
Obviously,
a video.
I made a 40-minute video.
I know. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody did. It's okay.
I mean, to be fair, you can just watch the video, the original PlayStation video, and pretty much get the idea of what you need.
You can play my audio alongside the the thing and pretend that it syncs up. There you go.
Yes, because we all want that.
Yeah, isn't that great? I should do riff tracks at some point. It could be us.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
What are you, Mystery Science Theater?
Why not? Sure.
No, you should not be that. I disagree with you.
I can give you my nerd facts, and then
I don't think we need your facts.
you don't need them, but you deserve them.
That's not how that works at all.
Yeah, you've been very naughty boy, so I need to lull you to sleep with my soothing facts.
Don't ever say naughty boy again. Just don't. Just don't do that anymore.
Oh, you know what? This is something we brought up. We were going to talk about the Dragon's Dogma anime. You can give your opinion on it, right?
Oh.
I mean, I gave mine.
Oh, the audience gets to hear my opinion on it. I thought it was a very okay anime. Very It was fine. I guess you could kind of see where it's going to end before you get to the last episode. I mean, the whole dragon part, obviously, I haven't played the game, so I don't know. I didn't know about that, but I'm like, okay, he's losing his humanity. She's gaining humanity. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of just none of the characters are like really that interesting except the 2 main leads, and even then, it's like this is like okay.
Surprisingly, a decent amount of people like it, as I've gotten a lot of comments that literally just say, I liked it. That's pretty much it.
Well, no one's saying that. I'm not saying it's a bad anime. I'm just saying it's like, it's all right, I guess. I've seen other, I mean, I guess out of the 2 of us, people should know I'm the anime person. I've watched enough, I'm not saying I'm some professional anime person, but I've seen enough, and it's all right, One of the things that kind of got me was like, they never explain why Ethan is such a good fighter.
Yeah, not really.
They don't ever explain that. He's just kind of good at it, and you're like, what? He was a hunter. A hunter doesn't mean you just know how to fight monsters.
Yeah, that part was pretty video gamey. But just, like, the problem is like his weird dragon rage shit. That's not in the game. It's just anime. Like, for no reason. I don't know why that was there.
Well, you see, he was angry because he didn't get to have any more sex.
Seems as good a reason as any.
He became so blue-balled, he turned red-balled.
I feel like in the Corona world, we would all have that power then. We would all.
What do you mean?
No. What? How did we even get to this? We're talking about Dragon's Dogma. Why did we get to that shit?
I don't know what happened. How did we get there? I have no idea.
Oh, you were talking about he didn't have sex enough, and so he was mad. Yeah, that's what you're talking.
I don't know what you mean. I didn't say that.
The main character.
Don't quote me on that. Don't clip that.
Yeah. Well, shit. I forgot what I was gonna say. No, you're right. So, I mean, I don't expect you to read comments on my videos because why would you waste your time doing that?
I do though.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you do. But basically,
I don't read them on every one of your videos, but I checked out the podcast because I'm in that one, so I had to read the comments.
Oh.
No, I read the comments for videos.
Count.
I read comments for videos. Not all of them, but I do check some of the comments to make sure if anyone's going to insult you, they do it accurately.
All right, well, you need to correct them if they do it wrong.
Exactly.
Give them a real insult. But no, I don't know. It's just very tiresome. Especially you hear like some of the usual arguments, which are just so cliche. Like, oh, he just doesn't like it because it's not like the game. It's like, that's one reason. But I'm pretty sure I named multiple reasons not to like it.
Yeah, but I'm okay with something walking away from the source material as long as they create their own interpretation. As long as it's good. I mean, like, if it's good, then I don't really have an argument against it. But Dragon's Dogma, the anime, is not very good. So it kind of doesn't help that it's not accurate to the source material. I guess we're going back to this argument. The Boys takes a drastic turn away from the comics, but the show is still good. So no one's really upset that it's taken a drastic turn from the comics. And again, there's just different things all around, different medias that step away from source material, but hey, guess what? They have good writing and good artists and good scenes, action and acting, and it's like, well, okay, so it's good. Like, it doesn't matter that it's taken a turn. You can still dislike it for not holding true to the source material, but as long as the material is still good, then what are you arguing?
Right.
But again, Dragon's Dogma is still, it's not a very good anime. It's okay at best.
The irony is, like, there's so little story to Dragon's Dogma that they could have been somewhat faithful and still done completely their own thing. But the fact that they were limited to 7 22-minute episodes and decided to waste most of that on, Monster of the Week shit, it's like... What?
How could they have explained the whole God thing and dragon thing in 7 episodes?
I mean, they could have dedicated the last episode to that. I mean, the problem is they weren't given enough time, but I think they still wasted the time they had. Like, I guess what they would have to do is that the first episode would be the same, because the first episode's fine. Second episode would probably be fighting the Hydra, because basically how it happens in the game is he needs to prove himself worthy of his pawn or whatever, and it leads to you getting to make your own pawn, because there's like thousands of pawns in like the pawn realm or whatever. And so you could have had him like face off the Hydra, and what happens in the game is you end up cutting off one of the Hydra's heads, and then it runs away, and then everyone just pretends you killed it for some reason. And then you have to escort the Hydra's head to Grand Soren, which is the big city. So episode 3 would be going to the big city, meeting the Duke, and then the Duke, I guess you would probably have to skip to... Episode 4 would probably be fighting the Griffin, because that was kind of a big major plot point. Episode 5 would be stopping the Cult of Salvation, which is like this evil cult that worships the dragon and like death and stuff. Episode 6 would be beating the dragon, then episode 7 would be explaining the whole nature of the universe and becoming the next god or whatever. That's probably what it would have to be.
That's still, I'm not going to lie, that doesn't sound very good though.
Yeah, but at least...
That sounds loaded with exposition is what that sounds like.
There's not much to explain. The last episode's the only one that really would like probably go over people's heads and only really be enjoyable for people who played it and know what they were doing. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like they took Dragon's Dogma because they said, hey, this is fantasy. There's not a whole lot of stories, so we can kind of work with this, and it's monsters, it's fantasy, and how many people really played the game? Okay, not a huge amount of people, so we can take this and run with it.
Yeah. The problem is there just was no substance, Even if they didn't do the plot from the game, it shouldn't have been Monster of the Week. Like, Monster of the Week just doesn't work except for, like, cartoons. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I just don't like things that are episodic very much. Even though I remember as a kid liking Inuyasha, if I watched it now, it would be unwatchable. I'd get so bored. I already know. So...
Hey, that wasn't Monster of the Week every episode.
Yeah, not every episode, but like, how many episodes does it have? Like an insane amount, and most of it's just getting a tiny fragment of the.
Well, yeah, the plot is to reassemble that jewel that's in 1,000 pieces.
Yeah.
But that's not an insane amount of episodes. An insane amount of episodes is One Piece or Naruto.
Yeah, but that's beyond that. At that point, you're just getting to stupid levels, like The Simpsons or something like that, where you're like, okay, why is this still going on? So yes, it's definitely not in like
because money.
Yeah, because money. People keep watching it for some reason. 193. So yeah, it is a lot. 193. Damn, it went all the way to 2010. I never saw any of the stuff past probably like 2000. Yeah, 2004 was season 6. So really, probably 167 is the real count, and then like the final act is like essentially a bonus story or something. They wanted to continue it for some reason. That's interesting. So yeah, the original run was 167 episodes.
167?
Yeah, so that's pretty good amount. I know it pales in comparison to a lot of shonen, but that's still a lot.
I don't think so. Friends has like I think more episodes than that.
Have you seen every episode of Friends? Well, that's what exactly. It's too many episodes.
What?
It's too many episodes. Other than that, though, I don't know. Like, I pretty much expressed my thoughts. I just think the game is really fun. But people will never play the game because people are casuals and they want to play new things, and it's an old game. The remaster was only 3 years ago, so they could play that. But no, it's 8 years old. The graphics aren't that good. And the game does have problems, which I've covered multiple times.
Dude, but Friends has 236 episodes.
Yeah, that's kind of disturbing.
But the point being is that, yeah, I agree. It's a show that's okay with a game that's even less okay. I'm just... No, the game's solid.
How I Met Your Mother is 208 episodes, and I know I've seen every episode. So that's kind of disturbing.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. So you want to talk about Inuyasha and you've seen every episode of How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
How many of those episodes play out the same?
A lot of them.
Okay.
A lot of them, that's for sure. Yeah. Sitcoms can work if they're funny enough.
Huh. What's that I heard? What did you say?
Maybe
hypocrite? Did you say hypocrite?
Maybe if I grew up with Friends, I would have seen every episode. I don't know. Yeah. The worst part about this digital future is that I'm practically already living in it. Even if not counting PC.
Are you Cyberpunk?
That would be sweet. I would live in that future any day.
Yeah, no.
I would amputate like
absolutely
all my
not.
limbs.
I don't want to live there.
I
don't. Kobe, why would you want to live there?
Because I want robot arms and
Kobe,
legs.
you don't have plot armor.
I'll just get in with one of the tougher gangs and I'll stay in the background.
You are like pink flesh to them. They will tear you apart. You are not a gangster.
Yeah, I mean, if I was living there right now, I don't think it would work. I'd have to be a corpo.
First of all, I don't know if you wouldn't get a corporate job. You don't like regular jobs.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think you'd be working for a company, and living in the slums is not your style.
I don't know if I'd have a choice though. I don't know. Would my entire life be transferred like over to Cyberpunk world, like how I'm living right now, or how would that hypothetical work?
Okay, let's say what your current situation now transferred over to Cyberpunk.
So I guess hypothetically my mother would probably be like a mid-level corpo. I don't know would my dad even have a job in the future?
He'd be working labor.
I mean, robots might be doing all that though.
Yeah, he'd have cybernetic implants working labor.
Yeah, maybe he would have giant robot arms. They had like hydraulic arms in the tabletop game. Too bad we won't be able to get those in the game, but obviously, I mean, that makes sense to some degree. Like, you could literally have, like, a crane as an arm. So.
Oh, that's cool. I would be in a gang by this point. I would not. I would be definitely in a gang.
Yeah. What robot parts would you want?
Not that many.
Oh. Well, I want as many as possible.
Yeah, because you're an insane person. I want to enhance my eyesight.
Okay.
And enhance my, heart, and lungs, stomach. Maybe my spine, too.
That sounds like a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, but I don't want to, like, go full on, like, I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing for a gang. What am I doing for this gang?
If I could be full Borg, that would be awesome. I'd have to keep my dick, though. Like,
for what?
You can't get rid of it.
Why, though? Why do you want to keep it?
I don't.
At that point,
you gotta have some part of your humanity. I bet you.
That's not that your dick is your part of your humanity. That's your humanity.
Yep.
Okay, that's kind of sad.
My brain and my dick are the two.
That's. I don't know why those are the two specific things. I can understand the brain, but I don't know why you want to keep the lower member.
Isn't every man just a brain and a dick?
I would argue it's more the second part.
How dare you? How dare you insult your fellow man?
I'm okay with insulting us.
We gotta stick with our strengths, alright?
Uh-huh. Sure.
And then further enhance our strengths with robotic parts. That's all I'm saying.
If I just want to do custom designs on my parts.
I'm just saying, I would let Militech like replace every part of my body, or Arasaka, or whoever, and I could just be like one of their super bodyguard people. But I'm like barely human.
I just want to be an enforcer.
Yeah. I mean, but with a gang though?
Yeah.
Well, just stay out of the corporate quarter and we won't have a problem. All right?
As if you're a threat to me.
Well, if I'm like 90% robot and probably have like a built-in rocket launcher in my arm, probably, yeah. I'm just saying.
Just because you're 90% robot doesn't mean you can take a bullet to the head.
Yeah, you won't be able to hit my head. All right. Actually, I will only have my brain. My head will be robot head, so I can take a bullet to that.
Yeah, just that's like why people carry around. That's why, like in Ghost in the Shell, people have like anti-tank bullets just in Uzis.
Yeah, but I'm like on the team that has those. You're gonna have like the discount budget arms.
No. I'm saying in that movie there was just a gangster that just had that.
That's not realistic.
No, it's not realistic. You think the Cyberpunk world doesn't just have people that have like stolen military tech?
Yeah, like the bigger dudes, like the more important people. You're just gonna be an enforcer.
And enforcers need anti-military weaponry if they're gonna. Do you know what an enforcer does?
David, you can't listen. Everyone's supposed to be in poverty except for the corpos. How are you gonna have like anti-tank shit?
Those top gang members aren't in poverty. They're living good.
So are you gonna be like the favorite? Like,
I mean, I'm just saying that do you know what enforcers do?
Enforce.
I feel like the answer is no.
What are you thinking?
Stop. The enforcer. No, see, enforcers are kind of the people who, like, let's say, they're kind of sort of muscle. Like, hey, if you're not paying on time for whatever payment you have to.
Yeah, why would they give
live,
you like anti-tank weapons to deal
with? Or you say like, hey man, I need you to go put a hit. I'm putting a hit on this guy. I need you to go destroy his building or put some fear into the neighborhood. Hey, there's some guys messing with our territory. Go deal with them.
Nah, you wouldn't have shit. I'm gonna have like, I don't know.
Would we be friends?
I don't know. I mean, if everything about my life now transferred to that, I would assume we would probably be friends. I don't know how that would work.
You're not gonna join a corporate machine. You're not gonna be a corporate cog.
If there was an offer. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, let's say,
but
what if I'm drafted into like the 4th corporate war or something, and I get my legs blown off, and then I'm like, okay, turn me into a Borg, and then they turn me into a Borg. You know, that's all I'm saying.
And then you go insane because you've added all these parts to your body and lost your humanity.
Listen, they will
like the tabletop game.
Guess what also happens in a tabletop game? You can get brain dance to cure your cyber psychosis, assuming they don't kill me. And then I'll join the Cyber Psycho Squad. I'll be part of Max Tac, their SWAT team. So then I'll be Cyber SWAT. I'm good with that.
Yeah, and then I'll be a gang member, and we'll be friends.
And then I would have to kill you, though, possibly. Yeah.
No, but we'd be friends on the opposite side. And it'd be a dramatic story.
It's like a love story.
I was gonna say 2 bros.
Romeo and Juliet.
Side of... I mean, like, do we get a happy ending? You gonna tap that?
Assuming I get to keep my dick. See, that's the biggest problem. What if my dick gets blown off in the war?
I mean, if you lose your legs, I don't imagine they're gonna see. If you lose your legs and they reconnect them with robot legs, what's to say that your spinal cord would be able to reattach, like would reconnect to that part?
Well,
you could have a dick and it just not work anymore, and you still have legs.
They could give me a robot dick, and then
would you even feel it? That's not what's the point in that.
Maybe
though?
They probably have like a neural interface with the robot dick. Probably, I don't know. I would assume.
Sure.
I hope so. Listen, I'm just saying, like, if I gotta throw away my humanity to be like a cool giant tank man, well, that's a worthy sacrifice. Very worthy. Also, I want a rocket launcher in my arm. I just
want 50%. Like, I want to go halfway with cybernetics.
That's in 2077, by the way, the rocket launcher arm.
No, I understand that because you said it at least 5 times.
I'm just saying.
I get it. You want a rocket launcher arm.
Who doesn't?
A lot of people don't. It means you probably have a bulky arm, doesn't it?
Yeah, why don't you want a bulky arm?
I don't want 2 giant arms.
So lame.
See, I want agility and stealth. I don't need,
So you're going to do a stealth build? You're going to max your cool stat?
I feel like I want agility. I don't know. I would definitely work on a build that relies more on, like, fast attacks. Like, not 100% stealth, but I want to go in and hit hard and fast. I don't need to go in full, like, war zone, like, just grenades and rockets. I don't care that much about rockets and grenades. I want, like, submachine guns and pistols, and I want to hit fast.
I just hope the game's good. Devin keeps saying to me over and over again, it's going to suck. And I'm like, Devin, stop. Stop talking.
It's not going to, yeah, but even if it's not great, it'll at least be, like, decent. You know that, right? It's not, at this point, we can already see enough of the game. It's not going to be, like, meh, right? At the very least, it'll be like, this is okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I just think, I'm just worried that
Stop worrying about
some of the mechanics are just not going to come together. Like, people have said in older demos how the shooting doesn't feel good. And I'm not talking super old demos, like 3 months ago. That the shooting didn't feel super good. The melee didn't feel that good. The driving wasn't very good. And I'm just like, stop talking. Stop saying things that might be true.
I mean, like, I can understand that the shooting doesn't feel very good. They're not a first-person shooter developing team. It would have been nice if they had called in, like, Respawn or Treyarch and said, hey, man, can you help us out real quick? We're trying to get this, like, shooting thing down. We need to get that feel right.
Yeah.
I wish companies would, like, work together more like that.
Yeah, that would be nice. The problem is, they're in Poland, and maybe...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could have asked Ubisoft to be like, hey, give us Far Cry shooting, at least. I don't know. Far Cry at least has alright shooting. I mean, the enemies suck, but the shooting's fine.
Yeah, the shooting's fine.
Though that does bring up a point I had thought about, which is somebody said, as long as the shooting is better than Fallout New Vegas, I'll be fine. And when I do think about it, I still love Fallout New Vegas, even though the shooting's not that good. So if the RPG mechanics with the guns are strong enough, which I already am kind of iffy on what they decide to do with that. I don't know if you've seen, like, how much of the gameplay stuff have you seen of Cyberpunk?
Well, I don't know. What are you getting at?
Well, they revealed, this might have been in the first Night City Wire, which is, their mini previews they've been doing. That,
yeah.
Shut the hell up.
What?
You're so mean.
Am I mean
You're
to you,
bullying me right now in my slow talking. Which is why my
It's
videos
not bullying.
are too long. You're bullying me. You're a bully. I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy. That's just it's that black and white. You gotta accept that.
You know what? I almost made a black and white joke.
Yeah, I actually thought of that too as I was saying it. But and in my avatar is about as pale white and angelic as you can get.
My avatar is white also.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, but it's Dylan Brady. Come on, audience, please, somebody know who that is.
Yeah, someone might comment. You never know. Even if this only gets like 200 views.
You mean like your last podcast?
Yeah, like the last podcast, exactly. Shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so they revealed they're doing rarities with weapons. Like Borderlands. It's like, that could be bad. That could be really bad, actually. The fun thing about New Vegas is every gun is viable, because there were so many different ammo types, and only, I'd say, every 10 levels, and, keep in mind, in the base game, the max level was 30, so it's not like there was a huge amount of levels. But every 10 levels, you might get a better version of the gun you were using that used the same ammo type. But for the most part, it's like, you would carry like 20 guns with you, because if you had too few of like 3.57 Magnum, you could switch to your 10mm. You know what I mean? Like, so there was a reason to use all these guns. If it's a rarity based system, you're not going to use the common gun more than 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Especially if it's tied to level. That's the thing I'm worried about with the rarities. We'll see. They haven't talked about it. It's just one of those things where it's like, even though we've seen a decent amount of the game, they even, like, at Tokyo Game Show this week, they showed off basically gameplay similar to what we've already seen, but with a lot less cuts. So we just got to see, more raw shooting, right?
Yeah, we do.
What'd you just say?
Yeah, we do.
We do what?
Need to see a lot more solid gameplay of just shooting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agreed with you. Are you having a stroke?
I don't know. The way you said that, like, the timing was off.
I'm sorry. That was mean of me to say.
Listen, yeah, if I start smelling burnt toast, pray for me. That's all I'm saying.
That's not funny.
You know what? Maybe you don't like dark humor
I witnessed someone have like an actual seizure, and I'm like, that stuff. Like, man, that stuff just sends the wrong, brings back something I don't want to think about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably be fine because I don't have any health issues that I know of like that.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Nothing. I don't have anything to say.
Oh, wow, thanks. Thanks for your contribution to this podcast.
Listen here, bucko.
What about Crash Bandicoot 4? That's coming out Friday. That's my next video after this, which I've already said a couple times, so they should know. The audience should know. I'm excited, dude. It's so soon. Like, I have it pre-installed, too, so midnight Thursday, I'm just gonna, I'm playing it just straight up. Dude, I want it to be good so bad. My audience, the problem with my audience is, my core people who, comment on all my videos are fine, but, I'd say the silent majority is that I don't really know what they want, it seems like certain game genres get a lot more views than others, right? And a lot of my videos is a completely foreign audience, to my channel.
Yeah.
For example, with that Dragon's Dogma video, I think 80% of the views came from YouTube search, so they weren't my subscribers. So, honestly, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I do polls, and people are like, oh, yeah, I'd rather see a rant, because of course they want to see a rant. I don't have anything to rant about right now, so if they wanted to see another one, I don't know what to say. Yeah. I mean, I could pull something out of my ass, but that didn't really work so well last time. The DLC video only has 450 views or something. So the people who watched
because you're talking about something that everyone already has the same feeling about. They just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Maybe they should, because it's ruining the industry.
The industry was ruined a long time ago, buddy.
I disagree.
You're holding on to a dead meme.
Downer. There's still hope, but people are cucked.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I disagree. I just disagree. I don't think there's still hope. I think the industry had hit that point where it is sort of at a... It's at a point now where it's kind of hit where film is, where it's like the people at the top are going to continue to do what they want to do to make money. And yeah, sure, there are people like CD Projekt Red that are pretty big and they're making cool stuff. But also there's a lot of publishers and whatnot that are just trying to squeeze as much profit as possible. We've hit the apex where the industry cares more about how to make things blow up rather than just making a good product.
Well, that's true. I think every opportunity that, for example, remakes have come out a lot lately. People need to buy these things. The problem is what happens is that what little is remaining of the original audience of the remakes, that played the original, are the only people buying the remakes. There's nobody new that is buying the Spyro trilogy or the Crash trilogy. And the people who aren't buying that are the fucking problem. And it's not just casuals. There's a decent amount of the market that they're just kind of, I guess, more niche gamers. They just like their couple genres, but they're really invested into that. And those are the type of people that need to broaden their horizons. They're the type of people who there's still hope for. I'm not saying that Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty's ever going to go away. It's more whenever developers make an attempt at a game that actually has, even if it's not necessarily passion, even if it's just recreating an old product, you're giving that IP a new chance at life to make things more diverse. Crash 4 would have never happened if people didn't buy the Crash remake. So, yeah, really, that's where the hope lies. It's just right now, there's just not enough of that because people are just not they're just not buying this stuff enough. I mean, some games have found weird success you wouldn't expect, like Hitman. Like Hitman obviously has some outside appeal outside of the stealth genre, where it's kind of just like casual, goofy shit. But people who like stealth games, it's a good game. You know, it's just a different type of stealth game. But then on the other hand, then you have what's happened to Dishonored and Deus Ex, where they're effectively dead. I mean, Dishonored kind of went out a lot better than Deus Ex, I would say, because they sort of have an end to the story, even if I didn't like it so much. Deus Ex is just dead in the water. Like, they killed it, pretty much. Sad. And when things like that just keep happening over and over again, you know, it's tiresome.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I mean, it's just weird. Oh, I kind of rubbed the mic a little bit there. It's just, there's not enough people that are into these games. I mean, it's not gonna work where we, I don't know, what was I gonna say? You're forgetting that there are certain games that are dominating the market that kind of make it impossible for these smaller games to do anything. Come on, dude. Fortnite dominated the market for such a long time. Plus, it was free. Anyone could download it. What do you want to do when people are like, "Hey, you want your studio to make some hella bank? Just do this formula right here."
Yeah, now there's a million of them. Can we stop with that? You know, you don't even like those. And yet they're still popular, even though... when did Fortnite become big? Was that 3 or 4 years ago? It's been a while.
Yes.
Either way, you know, PUBG carved the way for this shit. And it just won't stop. You know? I mean, Fall Guys at least was trying to do something slightly different, but there just wasn't enough there, man. Every time with these games, I like them at first, and then there's just not enough content because there's only one game mode and slight variations on that one game mode, you know? Yeah, people eat it up. They eat it up, and they buy stupid skins. Yeah.
Well, you know, people like their products. They want more of that. I just keep hitting my mic.
I don't know. The casual audience is a lost cause, as the viewership may get to see or listen to our buddy Zach, you know, talk about. He's one of them. He's one of the casual audience, and maybe he can explain his thought process behind it all. But obviously, he's just one man out of millions.
Like, I've just kind of dropped off out of the news feed for some of this gaming stuff, because some of it I just kind of, either it's too heavily complaining about something that I'm like, well, let's just give it a chance first, or it's just kind of, oh, this other thing that came out that didn't look very interesting to begin with sucks. Okay. I mean, a lot of it's coming out and not being that great, so I'm not surprised. Yes, surprised. I'm not that surprised about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm sticking to some other things now, like you know, some outdoor activities.
You would.
Yeah, I would.
My goal is to become as pale as possible.
That's a little harder for me.
Yeah, true.
True.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, do you want to comment on Microsoft buying Bethesda?
I think it's not as fearful as I was thinking about at the beginning, but we are getting more and more monopolies. Can I speak today, please? We are getting more monopolies, and I think that this is another thing that's like, well, I mean, the market's there, you know, it's people are buying up more and more so they can have more and more control over specific products. I don't know. I mean, like, they own that, and they own a bunch of other stuff now. It's not any worse than what Disney does.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney owns a ridiculous amount of entertainment and subsidiaries in terms of entertainment. It's kind of terrifying. They're making everything PG too. It's kind of dumb.
It is dumb. And I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I was going to change the conversation toward like PG-13 versus rated M or whatever, it being like a very dumb thing. But honestly, I want to stick to the Bethesda thing for a second.
Okay, what do you mean?
Which thing?
The Bethesda thing.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just going to say, since I never, like, in video form gave my thoughts, I just commented to one of my common commenters, Genome Soldat.
Did you just shout out one of your viewers?
Yes, I did.
Can you say it a little bit louder for them then?
Genome Soldat.
Shout out to you, buddy. You're number one. You're in my heart forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's from an anime or something, but it seems kind of familiar, the name. I feel like I've heard it before. But regardless, shit. What was my train of thought? Oh yeah, so yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the whole thing, but yeah, as you have said and my brother has also said to me, it's not as bad as you would think, but at the same time, I always look for the slippery slope. You know, that's always what it is for me.
Yeah, but a slippery slope there has to be a line though. Like if you're gonna use a slippery slope phrase, there needs to be like steps towards what the next thing that's going to happen is. There needs to be a feasible path of it getting worse.
There is a feasible path.
Well, explain it then.
Well, one of the rumors was Sony was going to buy Konami, which I don't know if they're actually going to do that or if that was just a baseless rumor. But essentially, the whole point is that, you know, through competition or possibly even a lack of competition, these, you know, Sony and Microsoft are going to try and compete with each other in the console space as much as possible. So they're just going to keep buying these smaller publishers over and over again until there aren't any left, except for, I guess, the big six, I'll say at this point. Because I don't think EA, Activision, or Ubisoft are ever going to get bought. So, you know, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are going to be the other three. So, yeah, basically what I was saying in the comment was it was like a cyberpunk-like future where there's only 6 mega corporations that develop all games was what I was saying. And I don't think that's really going to be true. I mean, because the indie scene is very big right now, especially on PC. I mean, people like Steam has like new games every week plastered across its page. I don't play, you know, any of them pretty much, but if you're into that sort of thing, that's plenty of alternatives to the AAA boring copy paste crap.
Right. So as you know, as bad as it seems, you know, to me, I still look at Disney as like the place I go to. I'm like, well, it's not here yet. It's not at Disney level yet. So I'm not too worried about it.
Imagine if Elder Scrolls 6 was exclusive to Xbox.
I don't play the game, so I don't.
Oh, wow. You suck.
I'm sorry that I don't want to play. Like, after they milked the Skyrim, how many times? How many times did that game come out?
I don't know. A lot. I couldn't tell you how many.
Huh?
But...
Did it not come out for... Did it come out for the Wii U? It came out for the Switch, the PS3, the Xbox 360, the PS4, the Xbox One, the PC, your cell phone, your tablet. Like, what didn't it come out for? Your VR. It came out for your... you know, you can play it on your Tamagotchi. Like, what can't you play Skyrim on? I don't care anymore. They've, like, milked that to death. Like, they clearly don't care about that franchise.
I mean, while that's true, I honestly was mostly just bothered with Fallout 4. Especially I was bothered with how many people were fine with Fallout 4, despite it being clearly, like, so much worse than Fallout 3. Like, just not even close. It was such a generic, like, shooter with barely any RPG mechanics, no player choice, terrible writing. But, people ate that shit up because it was just casual, shooty trash. Not even, like, good shooting. I mean, better than the previous games, but not, like, for a game that wants to gut out the entire point of playing it, you better replace that with, like, the best shooting. But no.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. But what about, like, id Software? What if, like, the next Doom game is exclusive to Xbox? Or, like...
I don't think they'd do that. I don't think they'd foreseeably... They'd be real stupid.
Well, I think the problem with Microsoft is their angle is to create, like, an ecosystem instead of a platform. Or I guess those could be synonyms in a way. But my point is that they're actually a lot less concerned with the Xbox being, the better console and more concerned with just making everything Windows. So, like, all of that shit is probably still going to come to PC, which is why I said it might not even affect me. Like, all of Bethesda's stuff, will be on PC so we can play it. I don't know. It's just Microsoft, they do some weird shit, dude. Like, my brother was watching a video. I don't remember who it was by, but the point of the guy's argument was that he thinks Microsoft just wants to make the video game version of Netflix. Like, he thinks they're going to expand Game Pass into, like, this huge thing, which it has been, it's been pretty significant. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Sounds interesting. The audience might be interested to hear what you like to spend your time watching on YouTube that's quality.
It's definitely not quality. Stop trying to set me up for failure.
Top tier quality.
Recently, and not recently, but I go in and out of it because I like to know what's popular on YouTube, and instead of going to the trending page, because the trending page is filth, garbage, hot doo-doo, poop. I'll go and look at YouTube reaction channels because for some reason they are so hugely popular that people get like couple million subscriber channels just built around reactions. And yes, we have the bigger YouTubers kind of doing it, like the ones that have been here a while that are kind of react to content. But we have these smaller channels where they literally only do reaction-based content. And it's very interesting to me because some of it is stuff that's ridiculous. I think Gus Johnson, that YouTuber, made a point because he pointed out like there's so many reaction channels reacting to first time hearing Queen. And even I think like that's ridiculous. You've never heard Bohemian Rhapsody? Bro, I'm 23 and I know that song. How is this 45-year-old never heard of Queen before or never heard one of their songs before? I don't understand. And then, I mean, like, unless it's fake, then I can believe that. But it's just interesting to see all these YouTube channels and whatnot looking at this content and just kind of, you get.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
You just get lost in, like, all these weird people, like, watching clips from a movie that's, like, 5 or 10 years old. And it's like, if people request you to react to this specific out-of-context clip, just watch the movie. What is this content? I'm like, it's weird, and I get lost in it for hours. Just going through all this YouTube, just like garbage. It's very interesting, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you until you say get lost for hours. But other than that, I just don't get the whole... It's almost like, how Let's Plays in a way were like friendship replacement.
Yeah, no, I would argue that so there are a lot of channels that will watch like shows like The Boys, or they'll watch a popular anime, and it's like kind of like a group watch. And I get that point where you watch the YouTube channel, the video, and you're sort of watching their reaction to the show, but it's almost like you're watching it with them. You're watching the show together. So it might be an appeal to people who necessarily don't get to watch stuff with people, because like for me, I don't watch a lot of movies or shows with people. Most of the time, I have to watch them by myself because I don't either. I watch anime or movies a lot, and you're not. I know you're not a huge movie person, and for me, I watch different types of animes, and sometimes I don't really have someone to watch it with. So different shows, different animes, different movies. I don't always have people to watch them with, so I'll just watch them by myself. And I get that wanting to like experience this content with someone else. So I understand that point. I get it. It's kind of crazy, like how popular it's gotten, like the huge vastness. That's not a word. I don't know. Whatever. Of these channels that have like these huge amount of views and subscribers. It's kind of crazy.
And I've got nothing. No views. No subscribers.
Maybe you should put something on there that people want to see.
Ooh. What do you want to see?
I'm just joking, buddy.
Do you have a request? I mean, you could give a request. I don't mind.
I don't have a request, buddy. I like your content. You should talk about movies, though.
It might come up. Give me a video game movie.
The Last Boy Scout.
I don't think that's a video game movie.
It's not a video game movie.
Didn't think so. But yeah, I mean, I'll see what I can do. It might be worth looking into a few movies.
You don't have to do what you don't want to, man. Make your own content.
It would be way easier, though. That's the funny thing. It's like it would actually be way easier to make a movie video than a video game video. The only thing that would be a problem is avoiding copyright. But other than that...
why would it be easier?
There's just a lot less to cover, you know? Like with a game, even a 10-hour game, I might have to play for 15 to 20 hours to make a review, you know? That's just because of the way I review. You know, I don't have to do that.
Right.
I like to do that.
Hey, do you... Yeah, no, I mean, what were you saying? It's just, I mean, like, I get what you're saying. I understand.
Like, even with Crash 4, the only exception I'm going to take is when Cyberpunk comes out. And, you know, audience, you know, if anyone's still watching at this point, I guess you can quote me on this for later. I'm going to definitely just be doing an impressions video and then maybe a full breakdown a week or two after that. Like, there's no way that I'm going to actually, you know, play 100 hours and then make a review, like, before making the review. So, yeah. But no, for Crash, I am going to try and cover the whole thing. Because I don't expect it to be that long, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's, like, the longest Crash game because it's $60. I was kind of disappointed that it was $60 compared to the remake of 3 games was $40. So, yeah. I hope it's worth the $60. That might be a part of the review. Yeah. Shit. I don't know. What were we saying before? I might have to turn my notifications off. Probably should have already.
Yeah, my phone's on silent, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Fuck. No. Don't do this phone. Alright. What was...
Did you read the notification before you put it on silent? That's rude. Someone's texting you.
Yeah. Yeah, someone important, I bet. No, listen, you. What I was saying is how parents care about if their kids see a rated R movie, but they don't care that they buy their kids a rated M game. Like, how does that make any sense?
What do you mean they don't? They care if they watch a rated R movie? No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Why do you think rated R movies always make less money?
Kobe, I went to watch Deadpool, and there were children there.
No, that was an exception. We saw people walk out of the theater when we were there. Parents didn't know that was...
No,
parents, bro, people are retarded,
I was
dude.
in the theater, and like I was sitting with me and my friend looked over, and he could see a parent with their child trying to cover their eyes at certain parts of the movie.
Yeah, that's just a bad parent. There's a lot of those.
I'm just saying.
This is what I'm talking about. This is anecdotes versus
how many stories
statistics.
How many stories do you hear about some kids saying like, "Yeah, I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was a kid. I probably shouldn't have been saying, but my mom or my dad like they didn't. They just let me see it anyway."
Yeah, and how many stories have you heard of? My mom wouldn't let me see any of that shit till I was 15 or 16 because I've heard a lot of those.
I guess it's pretty even.
But I know, but that's my point, right?
I wasn't allowed to play mature games until I was like almost 13 or something.
Well, you have sane parents then, unlike most of them. Most of them will be like, "Oh, I'll buy you every Call of Duty ever," where people will call you the N-word online, but I'm not gonna let you see, what's a horror movie that's come out in the last 3 years? I don't know.
3 years?
Yeah, just literally anyone.
Hereditary.
Yeah, they won't let you see Hereditary. Well, I don't know. Isn't that one supposed to be scary? Actually scary?
It's got a good creep factor. It's got a good horror setup.
Yeah, I guess those two aren't really equatable. What's like... Fuck it. I don't even know. They don't make enough rated R movies to make a good,
They do. I don't think you watch trailers.
No, listen, David. Everything in my brain is percentages. You have to understand. I have a very math-inclined brain. Compared to PG-13
you want me to?
R
I
movies.
mean, there's a joke there, but I won't make it.
Shut up. You're gonna say something about autism again, aren't
you? You said it, not me.
Yeah. It's just so the audience knows, no, I'm not actually autistic, because there was somebody who asked about that. No.
What? That's hilarious. I can't... Dude, does Devin know that when somebody asks if you were autistic?
I don't think I've told him, no. I will tell him. He'll probably get a laugh out of that. And just so you know, guys, you may never get Devin on the podcast, because he can't help himself. I'm not going to give any more details, but he doesn't want to restrain himself. That's literally it. Maybe I can work it out and just cut out all the parts, or just heavily censor any parts that he decides to lose his mind. We'll see. We'll see. But back to the main point. What I'm saying is look, there's people who will back me up on this. There's like parents who will buy their kids rated M games but won't let them see rated R movies. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I don't think... The weird thing is, too, this wasn't as much of a problem in the 80s. There were a lot of rated R movies in the 80s that kids saw. You know, like RoboCop. They made toys for RoboCop. You know? I think it was probably the 90s that was like the rise of the soccer mom, right? That like started censoring cartoons and stuff.
The 90s is when PG-13 became a rating.
Yeah, so it was... it had to be the 90s then. So the 90s... I blame the 90s then. I blame the 90s, and I blame people who listen to crazy mothers. Why would you listen to them? I guess I didn't have much else to say really on that, because I'm... Ironically, I don't really care if a kid plays a rated M game, because most of them aren't really that bad. Because they really need, like... There needs to be an M+ rating, but there's no way that would happen. Like, they have an adult-only rating, and I don't think it's been used in over a decade. Like, the Mr. Mosquito game is famous for that.
The Mr. Mosquito game? You talking about...
you've never seen Mr. Mosquito?
Are you talking about No, you're not talking about the other one. The other game, that pervy game.
It might be that game, because it is a pervy game.
Oh.
He plays, like, a yellow mosquito in a Japanese household, and you, like, suck blood from nude people. I mean, there's, like, the famous level is, like, there's a, like, I think it was the teenage daughters in, like, a bathtub.
Oh, okay, we can stop this now. No.
You're playing a mosquito.
No, I don't mess with teens, man. No.
Ah, see.
No. 18 and under, we stay away. Stay far away. I'm not trying to catch a case, buddy.
Listen, if it makes you feel any better, the mosquito is probably like a day old.
I'm not trying to catch a case, buddy.
But no, yeah, the adult-only rating is never used, and a lot of rated M games are not bad at all. Like Halo. Like, Can you believe like the Halo games are rated M? Like, what is even in there that's rated M? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Halo 1 had some blood, but I think like every Halo after that has like barely any blood. There's maybe 1 or 2 curses in there. It's really not much. And then you compare that to like GTA 5, which no like child under 13 should play. Like, that's not the same.
What do you mean? You don't think children should be kill hookers? Have sex with hookers, kill them, take their money, and then run over their family?
I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, I just think kids don't really understand the mature themes. Like, I don't
selling
know.
drugs, stealing cars, killing people?
Yeah, like GTA 5 is probably the most popular example. That would be the one exception to the rule that kind of like destroys my argument, is that GTA 5 is definitely owned by a shit ton of children, like without a doubt. Like that and Call of Duty. Well, no, that doesn't destroy my argument. That helps my argument.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm thinking. My brain isn't working right now. If anything, the problem with my argument is just, something like Deadpool, but I blame dumb parents on that one. But yeah, fuck, what was I saying? I don't know. My brain is going through the melt phase. You know, it happens. This is one of those things. If I ever live stream, which that's something I have answered before, but again,
I can't wait for you to live stream. I gotta be there for that, because you're gonna have a brain dead just 20 minutes at some point, and I want to be there for it, because I just want to give you shit the whole time while you're just struggling to form a thought.
Yeah, that'll probably happen. But seriously though, what I said before though is my internet is not good enough for streaming, which it really isn't.
Well,
so maybe that'll work itself out at some point. I'll look into it, but really I don't think it's worth doing right now. But it could be fun. I mean, I don't have anything against streaming. It'd probably just be on YouTube because, well, no, it's not worth wasting time to explain why. But
I get it. You don't like Twitch?
That is part of it. I really don't like Twitch. But if you stream on Twitch, you can only stream on Twitch. That's the problem. If you ever stream on something else, you get banned from Twitch.
Yeah, I know. It's a really strict kind of monopoly party, sort of monopoly kind of approach to it.
I don't know. Twitch is like a softcore porn site anyway. Whatever.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
All the e-thoughts. You know,
hey man, if they're making bank, they're making bank. I ain't mad at the hustle.
I'm not even that mad at that. I'm mad at like the mafia that they have going on there, where if you talk shit about one of them, you get banned. I mean, you even can get banned off YouTube. Did you hear about Leafy?
Who didn't hear about Leafy? Are you what?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking on YouTube. Like, what the fuck, man? This is why I hate Silicon Valley, dude. They're so up each other's ass. It's ridiculous. But yeah, like, come on. Yeah, no. Just, I don't need to say anything more on it. Screw Twitch. You know, if you want to be a simp, it's no simp September. First of all, you fuck. Second, never be a simp. There you go. End of story. That includes you, David.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Nah, nothing. Nothing that the audience needs to know.
Oh.
Leave that in suspense.
Really, bro? What, you talking about that I subscribed to an OnlyFans for a month?
Ooh, he said it.
Yeah, because I don't care what anyone thinks about me, dude. I subscribed to one because I was like, I'm curious what this is. And I was like, okay, I see what it is now. Cool.
Well, yeah, you were thirsting on iDubbbz's girlfriend.
No, okay. So I guess to give context, this was at the height when everyone was talking about his girlfriend on OnlyFans, and I thought, what is this whole OnlyFans thing? What is everyone talking about? So I subscribed for a month to see like what everyone was talking about, and I'm like, oh, is this it? Okay, I don't really care anymore, and I like moved on. That was like, what? That was a week of me like, I wonder what this is. I guess I'll subscribe for a month. I've got some extra cash, and then I'm like, I did it, and I was like, oh, this is like nothing. This isn't even porn. This is just kind of like a bunch of Instagram photos. Okay, I'm done. All right, I don't care about this controversy anymore. I'm out. And that was
That's
it.
how the addiction starts.
What?
It's all a slippery slope.
That's not a slippery slope.
There's always an entry drug into it.
That's not a slippery slope, Kobe, though. A slippery slope
slope
is like smoking and then continuous, like, oh, this is fine, I'm good with this. Actually, that's not even a great example, because even smokers don't always move on to something more hardcore. But
with porn, it's always a gateway drug. It's always a slippery slope with porn.
People say that about marijuana.
Well, if you had access to hardcore drugs and marijuana wasn't doing it for you.
Yeah, but there are people who have smoked weed for years and have not ever thought about moving on to something hardcore like heroin or cocaine.
Yeah, but they might just smoke larger doses, which can also be bad.
Okay. All right.
Oh, let me guess. You're one of those guys. There's nothing wrong with marijuana, right? It doesn't do anything bad to you. Can't be addicted to it.
I'm not saying you can't be addicted. You can get addicted to anything, but if you want to smoke weed, I don't care. As long as
I know.
As long as it's not affecting your work, I don't care what you do.
I'm just saying that slippery slopes are slippery slopes.
Stop! I just hate that phrasing, because everyone likes to say slippery slope. Truth. Everyone likes to say slippery slope, even when the process that you could go, the path you could go down is like, you could get to this. Like, you can say that about anything. You can say someone that really likes video games could get to the point to where they're addicted and like don't ever like leave their chair. Like, you can say that about anything. So it's not.
If the signs are there, I think it's a fair assumption to make.
If the signs are there, though.
Well, yeah, that's the point. You're just denying the signs.
I'm not denying any what signs, Kobe? What signs are you talking about?
What were we talking about? What were the signs? I don't know. Was I being serious about something?
I don't know. I don't even know. I can't tell when you're serious anymore.
I might have been serious about something, but I don't remember what it is now.
I don't know. You make me tired. That's why I
need my coffee. Next podcast, audience, I'll drink my coffee. Don't worry.
I need a Red Bull.
I won't be small brain for you guys. I'll try to be big brain.
I ain't too good with it. I'm a little bit dumb brain. I got a smooth brain, guys. No wrinkles.
Am I the only one annoyed with like all the Zoomers now referencing Ultra Instinct instead of Super Saiyan?
What are you talking about?
It's really obnoxious. Well, if you read comments on, and it won't even be DBZ related sometimes, it'll just be like people will make a DBZ reference, and it's always about Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, because that's the one good part of DBZ Super, though.
It's just because it's the new thing, and it's the new most powerful thing, but it's like, it's fucking lame.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that lame, but it's
that's look, lame. Dude, that's the only thing from DBZ that they're referencing is that. It's not like they're referencing anything else in Super. That's the only thing.
That's why it's annoying, because there's nothing else to reference.
And no one's referencing Ultra Instinct from Dragon Ball Z. It comes from Scooby Doo.
Well, yeah, the Shaggy Ultra Instinct thing was funny when I first saw that.
That's the only. That's where Ultra Instinct is coming from. Idiot! Don't you know your anime?
Listen.
Next, you're gonna tell me that your number one favorite anime isn't Cory in the House.
Yeah, I remember that meme. No, I don't even think I watched Cory in the House when it was on.
I did. I saw episodes.
I know I saw some of That's So Raven. I just don't think I saw any of Cory in the House.
It makes no sense to me that they moved into the president's house, but his mother and Raven just stayed home.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I never thought about that until I looked at that meme and that show, and I'm like, oh yeah, his dad and his son moved into the White House. Wait, he was married and had 2 kids. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
What happened? Did they divorce?
Listen, that's 2 heavy themes for the Disney Channel. They can't cover that. All right.
Yeah. All right. We should end right here. I'm going to stop my recording.
Yeah, you're not going to plug anything because you have nothing to plug.
I mean, you can go to my Instagram at back on number 5.
I think I'm going to bleep that out just because I don't want people to look at Instagram. I don't want to encourage that.
Instagram's great.
Yeah. It's real great.
Bro, you go on Twitter. You cannot talk to me about Instagram when you're on the
only through links.
When you're on the when you're on the toxic landfill that is Twitter, you have no right to talk about Instagram.
I'm not actually on Twitter though. I'm just looking at links.
You go to Twitter actively. You also go to Reddit actively. You cannot talk about Instagram if you go to Reddit and Twitter. Absolutely.
Yeah, but
not.
here's the thing, though. Reddit might
you have no.
Reddit might be a shithole, but Instagram is the most normie shit. It's normie as it gets.
Yeah, you say it's normie because you've never actually had a.
What do you mean? That's where all the kids flocked after they left Facebook. Is Instagram.
No, they don't.
So yeah, it's normie shit.
It's not though. You've never actually been to an Instagram page, especially.
Yes, I have.
You've never seen someone's For You page, anyway.
I've seen a lot of titties.
Yeah, it's because you go to people that follow Instagram models.
What do you do on Instagram?
I follow a lot of artists, a lot of comic book, a lot of artists that make stuff, and tattoo artists. And what else is on my For You page? It's people that I know personally. It's some businesses that I follow downtown so I can keep up with when they're open, so I can go there. And yeah, that's mainly what it is.
Listen, I'm going to take the boomer position and say that everyone moved to pictures because they're forgetting how to read. You're slowly unlearning how to read by just looking at pictures.
That's right. That's so I can keep up with like cool artists and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, cool artists. Real cool. But yeah, I guess that's it for this podcast.
That's it for this podcast, ladies and gents. We'll talk to you next time, next episode on Nameless Podcast number 2.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na.